Good morning, everyone. So we start our today's reading session, and this is the new month, and we will be starting new book, which is "You Can Heal Your Life" by Louis Hay. So this is like more on working on your mind, as we are reading about thought process, how it is connected to your feelings, and then how you can get into actions and transformation. But sometimes when we go back to the root, like how to create right thought process, how to get out of something which is holding you back. So this book is based on this and creating the right mindset. So definitely there are a lot many insights in this book, and she has given certain exercises to work on, and it is mentioned in all mentioned about all aspects, all areas of our life, like where how we can release whatever thought pattern which is not helping us, and what best we can how like what kind of growth mindset we can instill in. So it starts with certain philosophical points that author has mentioned, and based on this, these chapters are there. So it starts as some points of my philosophy. So these are the what I would say certain statements based on which each chapters are mentioned. So we are each responsible for all our experiences. So it is again taking 100% responsibility. Every thought we think is creating our future. That, of course, we know about it. That first is the thought which is leading to your destiny. The point of power is always in the present moment. Again, very important philosophy. Now, next is everyone suffers from self-hatred and guilt. At any point of time, there would be certain situations that we might have to face with respect to these negative emotions. The bottom line for everyone is I am not good enough. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. So, very important, because it is in the thought process. We are here now to understand how to work on it. We create every so-called illness in our body. So even this philosophy is even the illness which is somewhere created by your thought process or your thought patterns. Resentment, criticism, and guilt are the most damaging patterns. So these negative emotions are damaging not only your mind but also your body. Releasing resentment will dissolve even cancers. That is also certain examples that she has given. We must release the past and forgive everyone. We must be willing to begin to learn to love ourselves. Self approval and self acceptance is in the now are the keys to positive changes. When we really love ourselves, everything in our life works. So these are certain philosophical points that, of course, very it seems simple to read, but obviously we will go deep down and understand like how it is important to now we will focus on releasing something which is holding us back or something which is really not helping us. And it all starts from what do you think? And if that thought is good, of course, we are going to keep it because it will help us. But if it is not, then how we can release or how we can change? That is the further, that is mentioned further. So we start with the chapter 1, which is what I believe. And it starts with a quote, the gateways to wisdom and knowledge are always open. Life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. Now, what we think about ourselves becomes the truth for us. I believe that everyone, myself included, is responsible for everything in our lives, the best and the worst. So, this is the first thing that, of course, tells us that it is our own responsibility And also it gives us that power that yes, if I have created it, if it is not good, I can very well change it. So every thought we think is creating our future. Each one of us creates our experiences by our thoughts and our feelings. The thoughts we think, the words we speak, create our experiences that we very well agree upon. We create the situations and then we give our power away by blaming the other person for our frustration. So this is very common scenario that actually situations are created. It is said that every incident is neutral. Whatever you are creating out of it in your mind is that particular situation, but we are giving power away because we are blaming. No person, no place, and no thing has any power over us. We are the only thinker in our mind. When we create peace and harmony and balance in our minds, we will find it in our lives. Which of these statements sounds like you? Just think. People are out to get me. Everyone always is helpful. Now, each one of these beliefs will create quite different experiences. Again, it coming down to what do you believe? What we believe about ourselves and about life becomes true for us. Now, the universe totally supports us in every thought we choose to think and believe, as per the universal laws. So, put another way, our subconscious mind accepts whatever we choose to believe. They both mean and that what I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. What you choose to think about yourself and about life becomes true for you. And we have unlimited choices about what we can think. When we know this, then it makes sense to choose. Of course, everyone is helpful rather than people are out to get me. So, obviously, it all again comes down to your choices that we keep on, focusing. When we write affirmations, of course, we decide what is my choice. So, again, what do you choose to believe? It is inside you. The universal power never judges or criticizes us. It only accepts us at our own value. Then it reflects our beliefs in our lives. If I want to believe that life is lonely and that nobody loves me, then that is what I will find in my world. However, if I am willing to release that belief and affirm for myself that love is everywhere, I am loving and lovable, and to hold on to that new affirmation and to repeat it often, then it will become true for me. Now, loving people will come into my life. The people already in my life will become more loving to me, and I will find myself easily expressing love to others. So, again, it is all about your belief system and your thought patterns. And of course, it is your choice at that level, not at what you are doing or speaking. It is at your thought level. Now, most of us have foolish ideas about who we are and many rigid rules about how life ought to be lived. This is not to condemn us, but for each of us is doing the very best we can at its very moment. If we knew better, if we had more understanding and awareness, then we would do it differently. Please do not put yourself down for being where you are. The very fact that you have found this book and have discovered me means you are ready to make new positive change in your life. Acknowledge yourself for this. So again, whatever is up till now we have got this new perspective. So then we will now, get back there. So I'll just read one more minute and then we'll move to the next segment. So when we are very little, we learn how to feel about ourselves and about life by the reactions of the adults around us. So, again, going back to how these belief systems have developed, it is the way we learn what to think about ourselves and about our world. Now, if you lived with people who were very unhappy, frightened, guilty, or angry, then you learned a lot of negative things about yourself and about the world. I never do anything right. It's always my fault. I get angry. I'm a bad person. So beliefs like this create frustrating life. So again, it is going back to how it starts. When we grow up, we have a tendency to recreate the emotional environment of our early home life. This is not good or bad, right or wrong. It is just what we know inside as home. We also tend to recreate in our personal relationships the relationships we had with our maybe mothers or with our fathers or what they had between them. So think how often you've had, someone who is just like in your life, like your boss, just like your mother or father. So sometimes those patterns will come back because you are recreating. So we also treat ourselves the way our parents treated us. So we scold and punish ourselves in the same way. So you can almost hear the words when you listen. We also love and encourage ourselves in the same way if we were loved and encouraged as children. You never do anything right. It's all your fault. How often have you said this to yourself? Or it can be different. You are wonderful. I love you. How often do you tell this to yourself? So this is like, a point at which we can really reflect upon and think, what are those words I am using to myself? And similarly, when now we are learning this, like from where this belief system is coming. So we are the ones who are creating these belief system for our kids. So also we need to be very careful what kind of environment we are giving or what kind of words we are using for them. So again, we will go deeper down tomorrow, like from where these belief system have come up, and they have the major role in our thinking pattern. So now we'll move on to our next segment, which is guided meditation. So we will definitely, like, as we have started reading this book, so definitely we will be open to release whatever is not helping. And that is something called as, of course, healing, that heal your mind, heal yourself so that you can get into your better version. So we start sitting in comfortable position with your spine straight and eyes closed.
Eyes closed.
Relax your shoulders
Relax.
and start taking deep inhale for a moment and slowly exhale. Now, as you are inhaling, inhale calmness and exhale heaviness. And now, silently say to yourself, I am ready to grow. I am ready to heal. I am ready to love myself more deeply. And now, bring your awareness to your heart center. Imagine a soft, warm light glowing there. It's healing golden light, not harsh, not forceful, just very gentle and comforting. With your every breath, this light is becoming brighter, warmer. This light is reminding you that now you are not fighting with yourself. You have started understanding yourself and accepting yourself. And say to yourself, I am willing to release my old thoughts. I am willing to myself with compassion. I deserve peace. I deserve joy. I deserve emotional freedom. And it is just your willingness. And today, you choose your thoughts. You choose yourself. And you have started this journey towards your best self. And now, slowly, you will come back to the present moment. Wiggle your toes and fingers, rub your palms, put it on your eyes and face, and slowly open your eyes. And with this, we'll move on to our next segment.
Good morning, everyone. So, as we move on to the last segment of the day, and with this new month, this new book is going to be again a recap of what we have been reading in past so many months in different books, in different styles. But maybe this was again required for us to remind ourselves that how we need to take charge of our life to move ahead. And that's why this book again we picked up, so that with a recapitulation, we move ahead towards a better version of ourselves, better version of the person we want to be. So, on that note, we start our third segment. That is, today we are going to write affirmations. So, I'm sure you all are ready with your journals. I'm going to share my whiteboard here. And as this topic starts, that it is the most important thing for you to even, before doing anything else, it is the most important thing that you take charge of your life. So we will start our affirmations based on that only. Just a second, I've just. Yes. So the text box is here. So, first and foremost, the first step towards our transformational journey is not pointing on others, not pointing that whether they will change, or if they change, things will turn better, or situations might change and my life will be easier. That's not the formula. The formula is that you are taking 100% responsibility in charge of your life because you have a limited control and your control is restricted to yourself. So to start with, before I even move further, this is my initial reminder that I take responsibility for creating the life I desire. I'm not dependent on anyone else. This is my life. I am designing the way I want. So I take responsibility for creating the life I desire. Now, whatever you want in your life, that doesn't make a difference. The difference comes from what you are doing to get it. If you are dependent on others, that is not going to show any result because then it might happen within a week, a month, a year, or even 10 days or 10 years. Sorry. It might take as long as it could be. So we are not dependent on anyone now because I am only responsible for my own actions and my thoughts. So it starts with taking responsibility. Once I start believing in this important factor of my life, I start releasing because all those past hurts, resentment, which Snehal mentioned in the reading segment also, hurt, resentment, guilt, which we are holding, which happened in the past. I want to release that. I don't want to hold it tight. So I release what has been holding me back and take charge because you will not be able to take charge because if your hands are tight or they are stranded, you will not be able to move. So for to move forward, you need to release, open the knots, and walk forward. So that is only possible when you start releasing it. So I release what has been holding me back. Now that can be anything. That, as I mentioned, it can be hurt, it can be resentment, it can be anger, it can be guilt, it can be fear, whatever it is. So, whatever it is for individual, you are releasing it. And what you are doing, and take charge. So, this is how you start taking charge. By just saying you are taking charge is not going to work. And even by releasing, by saying you are releasing is not going to work. There is a process, there is a way how you do it. Definitely, that also we will discover when we read further this book. So now, once you take responsibility, you start releasing, or releasing here by that I mean opening the knots. You no longer give your life the power to past pain. So your pain is subsiding. Your pain is dissolving. You are not giving importance to that pain because now you are focusing on your growth. That matters most to you. So I no longer give my power to past pain because the power was in that pain. That's why you were not able to move or take step ahead because it was holding you back. Now, this is the first step of releasing that you are not taking, you are not sticking to the pain which you were for so many years. Now you are letting go. letting go of the negative thoughts or negative beliefs and step into confidence. So, all those negative thoughts which were haunting in your mind, you're trying to overcome that and you are moving ahead with confidence. So, I let go of my not my, it can be of negative thoughts or negative beliefs, it can be, and step into confidence. Because these are the ways how you will release. How will you lose that tight knot? These are the ways by no longer giving the power, by letting go. This is how you are going to release it. And in the end, the most important one, I choose peace over power. Now, if the question comes ever in your mind, why am I doing it? You are doing it because you are doing for your happiness and peace of mind. For you, your peace is more important than the power you were holding or the stress you were holding inside. That was not solving any problem. You faced it for a very long time and you don't want to experience that kind of pain any longer. So I choose peace over power. Now, what do I mean by power here? Basically, what happens whenever we are trying to control things, we definitely want to see that we are holding a upper hand. If you're not releasing your pain, your guilt, your anger, your ego, if you're not overcoming that, means you are holding the powerful position. And because of that, you're not stepping ahead. Because of that, it's difficult for you to overcome your challenge. So now the complete dialogue in your head changes and it focuses on peace, happiness, more than power. Now, these are just sentences, but they are not simple sentences. They can change your life if you start doing two things. First, repeating it constantly. Second, believing on them and believing and repeating with full feeling and expression and believing on them. Once you start doing this, you will see that the change automatically starts or if the change is visible. Now, what kind of change you will see? The change is not that the people will start behaving very nicely with you. The change is you will start feeling calmer, relaxed. You are not triggered. These are the changes you will realize first. And once that phase you overcome, or once you pass that phase, then you will see that you are easily able to connect or handle the situations better. So that's how you progress in your own personal growth. So we will be sharing, I'll stop the screen first. We will be sharing these affirmations back in the group also. So those who have missed to write, they can definitely go back and check. On that note, we end today's session. The book has just started, and I'm sure Louis Hay is one of the best authors who works on healing and working on the power of people. So we will get a deeper insight from this book throughout the month. I'm sure you will love to hear more and get enlightened. Thank you so much for your presence early morning. We meet you tomorrow, same time, same place, same link. Thank you so much.